Okay, we have today the great honor to interview Jason Moloney, who recently held the WBO Bantamweight World Championship around his belt. Actually, it's your second time on this channel because Box Attitude. We had the honor to interview you a few minutes last year after you won that belt against Vincent Asurabio in the US. Today, we're interviewing you in Japan.
Yeah.
First question, what are you doing in Japan?
Well, I love Japan, but I'm here for a few reasons, really. Well, I guess firstly to improve as a fighter. Okay. Obviously, whatever they're doing here in Japan in terms of their training and their boxing is working. Japanese boxing is so strong at the moment, so I wanted to come over here and train and improve.
Okay.
And my friend Seiya Tsutsumi, he's fighting for the world title against Takuma Inoue, and he came and helped me in Australia for 6 weeks before my last fight against Takai. And he was a great helper, and we formed a good friendship, and he's obviously got the big fight coming up to fight for the world title, and I said I'd be happy to come over here and help you prepare. I think I'm a good sparring partner for him, for Takuma, and I said, yeah, I'll be happy to come over and train with you and help you get ready. So he said, yes, please, come over, and he brought me over here to help him. And yeah, I just wanted to come back over here and train hard and improve as much as I can as a fighter, and hopefully get some interest around me fighting here again, because this is where I need to be. All 4 world titles at bantamweight are here in Japan. So this is where I want to be, and I want to fight here again, and hopefully me being here and the public seeing me being here will create some interest, and I hope I can fight here again before the end of the year in another big fight and push towards me becoming a 2-time world champion.
Okay, very interesting, very interesting. I was planning on keeping that talk about Japan for later on, but it's so fascinating. So basically, yeah, right now a lot of Japanese fighters, a lot of world champions in the lighter weight classes. So yeah, this is like a land of boxing. Yeah. Is this a perception you had for a long time ago? Like maybe you, at some point in your career, you would have to box in Japan?
I always wanted to, yeah. I'm a big boxing fan, and I watch a lot of boxing, and I'd always watched a lot of Japanese fighters and really like their style. They're technically excellent boxers, very explosive, great on their feet, and nice to watch. And I've been following Inoue and other good fighters for a long time. And early in my pro career, I really wanted to come here and fight in Japan, particularly in the lighter weights. Okay. There's a lot of fighters, they're very, very good fighters, and I hoped I would get the chance, but it never prevailed. And my brother fought one Japanese opponent early in his career, but I never had the opportunity until obviously in May when I fought at the Tokyo Dome, which was amazing. Okay. But yeah, I always thought and I always wanted to come here and fight and to train because, as I said, they're such great boxing people. And I knew that whatever they're doing is working, and they've just gotten stronger and stronger and stronger, especially in the lighter weights. And now at my weight, and obviously at super bantamweight, they're holding all 8 belts. So I knew that coming over here I could learn and improve, and that's, as a fighter, that's important to me, to always be improving. And I think since I lost my title in May, it's been hard. Obviously you work your whole career to become a world champion, you achieve your dream, and then when you lose the title, it's very depressing, and I felt like I'm sitting there waiting, and I'm wanting to fight, I'm ready to fight, I'm still training, but there's nothing happening, I don't have any fights. And that's why I thought I'm going to come over here and do something to better myself in my career, and come over here and train hard for 1 month and get better, and hopefully open some doors. Okay. So you said losing your belt, obviously in May. I was actually at the Tokyo Dome, very good fight, very contested fight. It was still a tough defeat for you. Compared to you had challenged for world title fights 2 times before in your career, Emanuel Rodriguez and then Inoue Naoya. Was it tougher to actually lose a belt you already had than
losing the first two challenges? Because
Yeah.
we could think, oh, you already went through that, so you know how to deal with it and you can move forward. But
Yeah.
it feels like it was heavier, maybe.
Yeah, heavier. Yeah, any loss hurts.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a very competitive person, and any time you lose, it hurts. And in boxing, it's a big setback. A loss, unfortunately, is a big setback. It takes a long time to build and get back up the rankings and get another title shot. So any loss hurts, but I think losing the belt was definitely hurt more than any of the previous defeats because, as I said, it was my dream to become a world champion. I worked so hard for my whole life to win that title, and then you lose it and it's straight back to square one. Such a long time possibly to rebuild and get back to that position again, but I'm determined to keep fighting, keep winning, and to get myself back into that mix and become a two-time world champion.
Okay. Rooting for you about that.
Thank you.
Okay, so would you say that your first two challenges for the belt helps you now to keep the drive, because you had that experience to keep believing? Maybe I don't know how people around you reacted after your second loss to Naoya. Like, did you at some point doubt it? Maybe you would one day achieve that goal of becoming a world champion, or was it like always?
No, I always believed that I was good enough to become a world champion, but the thing in boxing is you need the opportunity. There's been many great fighters that have never become a world champion because they didn't get the opportunity. So after losing against Rodriguez and then losing again against Inoue, I still believed in myself. I still thought I'm good enough to become a world champion, but will I get the opportunity? And after the Rodriguez loss, it took 2 years before I got the opportunity to fight Inoue, and then after I lost to Inoue, it took nearly another 2 years before I got the chance to fight for the title again against Astrolabio. And time ticks away, and your career is only a short time. So I always believed, but I was worried that the opportunity might not come. But I just kept working hard, kept winning, and made it happen.
So you had your belief, and was it a discussion you had with maybe your trainers, promoters? I think you are working with Top Rank and Bob Arum.
Yeah.
What was their stance during that time?
No, well, Top Rank were great. I'll always be so grateful to them, because without them, I wouldn't have become world champion, because they gave me the opportunity and they stuck by me after the defeat to Inoue. And they kept me active and got me back up the rankings and got me the fight against Astrolabio for the vacant world title, which I'll always be grateful to them. My team has always believed in me. My coach, my manager, they've always believed in me, and they still do. We know that there's still lots more for me to achieve.
Okay, so your last 3 fights were abroad in different countries, right? US, Canada, and then Japan. It feels like you have your mindset on Japan for now. Like, what would be the next goal for you? Maybe next to come a world title opportunity, and like maybe would you feel more comfortable fighting in Australia at home, or like is it something you take into account?
Yeah, it's hard. I'd like to fight more in Australia. I'd like to build my name and my profile and get more support from my own country. And I haven't had the chance to fight in Australia very often in the last 4 or 5 years of my career. But I know that this is where I need to be, and this is where I want to be, because, as I said, all 4 titles are here. And yeah, it'd be great if I could get one of the champions from Japan to come to Australia and fight me in Australia. That would be perfect. But reality is that boxing is much bigger here in Japan. There's bigger crowds, there's TV networks and things supporting boxing, and so much interest from the general public, much more interest than there is in Australia. So I think this is where I want to be, and I want to get another big fight here. And the Japanese people have been amazing to me. I get so much support here in Japan. Probably more support than I get in Australia, unfortunately, but it's nice to come over here. And even last night at Karokian Hall, so many people coming up for autographs and photos, and they really seem to support me, which is really nice. So I hope that I can get another big fight here.
Okay, very interesting. Listen, one maybe a couple of last questions. You said last year, I think, that you were looking forward to a rematch with Emanuel Rodriguez. At the time, he had the IBF belt. He lost it in between. Would it be something that you're still looking forward to, maybe to build up back to a world title opportunity?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'd love to fight him again. I don't know what he's doing at the moment. After he lost to Nishida, he announced his retirement, I believe, but now I see him training again and talks of another fight. So yeah, I'd love to fight him again if he's still fighting. I think that's a good step towards another title shot, and would be a good win on my record, and to put me right up the up the rankings and possibly into a mandatory position. So yeah, I'd love to get revenge over Rodriguez. I'd love to get revenge over Takai and have a rematch. Yeah, I'm a competitive person, so anyone who holds a win over me, I want to get that back.
You want to get that back. Okay, interesting. And like you mentioned Takei, was there any rematch clause in your contract against?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
It's not something that I spoke about or asked for.
Okay.
I believe I was going to beat him, and I know that if I didn't fight very well against Takai, if we fought again, I believe I could beat him. I really believe that I'm good enough to beat him, but I just didn't get it right on the night. I didn't fight my best, and unfortunately, in professional boxing, at the top level, if you don't fight your best, you're not going to get the result you're after. So that still hurts, that fight. I know that I was capable of doing much better, and yeah, I hope I can get the rematch with him one day.
Okay. Well, hopefully you come back stronger and very soon. You meant so maybe some options, Emanuel Rodriguez, a rematch against Takei. You said you want to fight in Japan before the end of the year. Do you have an opponent in mind, or you will follow the flow?
Any of the champions is preference.
Okay.
I always wanted to fight with Takuma Inoue. Okay. Obviously, I'm here helping my friend Seiya Satsumi, who's preparing to fight him. So I hope he wins and becomes champion. If he doesn't, I'd love to fight Takuma Inoue next. But yeah, I'd love to fight Nakatani, I'd love to fight Takai, I'd love to fight Nishida, any of the champions, any of the big fights here in Japan. I believe that if I fight my best, I can beat all of them. And I'm here working hard to improve and make sure that I keep getting better. And when that opportunity comes, I'll make sure I win the fight and become champion again.
We'll be rooting for that really hard for you. Jason, thank you so much for your time. One last request we would have for you. Maybe you remember last time you gave us a beautiful fighting toward the camera. That's the gimmick of the channel. Can we get that one face to camera? Maybe if you have one last word for maybe the French audience, that some of them would be looking for this video.
Yeah. Well, you maybe can't understand me, but I appreciate you and your support, and I hope you continue to follow me and my career on the road to becoming two-time world champion.
Okay, let's go. Fighting!